This is a follow-on video on the portfolio return application, going into more detail than what was covered in the introduction video. In this video, I'm going to discuss the View Journal worksheet. The View Journal worksheet was initially designed to be strictly view only, and really the only columns that need to pay attention to are the ones that are not currently highlighted, namely these ones over here on the left. You simply have a date, a ticker, the type of journal entry, price, number of shares, comment, and then for each row in the journal you had a unique journal ID. So you would just simply go out here to View Portfolio, select a portfolio, and then when that portfolio is brought in, the journal entries associated with that portfolio are displayed in the View Journal. Later, these columns were added to provide ancillary information regarding each journal entry, namely what the S&P 500 was trading for at the time of the journal entries and the total return of the S&P 500, which includes reinvested dividends, were trading for at the time of the journal entry, the full company name of the ticker, and then what the total transaction amount, which is the price times total number of shares. It is recommended that you hide columns I through L unless you're just interested in knowing the full company name or what the S&P 500 was trading for on the day of the transaction or journal entry. Columns P through W were initially added to show how the stock price and the S&P 500 price has changed since the journal entry. This information is useful by itself, but with the addition of the color palette for highlighting cells, it is recommended these cells not be hidden. Highlighting cells is particularly useful when reconciling journal entries with brokerage account records. To use the color palette, first activate it by selecting cell M1. You can see here the current active color is blue. So anytime I select cells in columns C through G or AB of an occupied row, that cell gets toggled from being highlighted in the active color to not being highlighted. To change the active color, select in row 1 of columns R through W. And now when I select particular cells, they're now in green. When the color is active, you can clear any cells with a background of that color by just selecting Clear Color. To clear all cells that have been highlighted, regardless of color, select Clear All. To use different colors in the color palette, first turn off highlighting and simply go to the color you want to replace and select a different background color. One last user selected item that's been added is here in cell B7. Normally select bottom, you go to the last occupied row in the journal. Optionally, you can enter in a date in B7. Now when you select bottom, you are taken to the row with the first date equal to or before the date entered in B7. Since this video was recorded, clear filters selection in cell D8 has been added, along with visible rows selection in cell C6. Recall only visible rows are pasted on the clipboard using the cells H7 and H8 and JIDs worksheet. Also recall that until the View Journal worksheet is selected after retrieving a portfolio, all rows on the View Journal worksheet are considered visible. When D8 is selected, all filters on the View Journal worksheet are cleared, and cell C6 is set to a default value. C6 determines the visible rows. Next, the cursor is moved to the last visible row. Cell C6 is used to select the first visible row. The date used is shown in cell C7 and is a result of a change to C6. Note the date of the last visible row is in cell C8. The default value for cell C6 is obtained from cell F30 on the Manage worksheet. The value in cell F30 is set using the last valid tag name, named period, all in caps, preceded by vertical bar, vertical bar, vertical bar, that is found in the journal entry comment. If not found, inception is used. Also, since this video was originally recorded, 4 methods have been added to the View Journal worksheet to place journal IDs into the clipboard. The first method is selecting individual or range of journal IDs from column B. To select non-contiguous range, hold down the control key between selections. A second method is entering a search string including wildcards in cell H7. The journal IDs of comments in column H matching the search string are placed in the clipboard. Notice the number of matching comments is displayed here in G7. A third method is selecting a tag from the drop-down menu in cell H8. The journal IDs of comments in column H containing the tag are placed in the clipboard. Notice that cell G8 contains the number number of comments containing the tag. Note, only visible rows are searched. To display all rows, select Clear Filters in cell D8. A fourth method to paste journal IDs into the clipboard is similar to the third method, but instead of selecting a tag name from the drop-down in cell H8 of the View Journal worksheet, a tag name is selected from an ascending ASCII ordered list of all tag names in column B of the Clip JIDs worksheet. To demonstrate the use of this worksheet, I am using a portfolio with many tags. Notice the selected tag name is highlighted in dark green, and the number of journal entries with comments containing the tag name is also highlighted in dark green in cell S1. In addition, from column C, you can select journal ID associated with the last journal entry of a tag indicated in column B. The selected journal ID is placed in the clipboard. Notice the row number of the journal ID in the View Journal worksheet is shown in the status bar in the lower left-hand corner. Optionally, you can select Previous in cell S10 to temporarily display the second to last. Use cell R10 to temporarily display transactions even further back when Previous is selected. Quick side note, in addition to column B and column C, selecting a cell in column L, column O, and column Q also copies journal IDs into the clipboard. Column L contains check numbers found in the comments of journal entries. Selecting a check number places journal IDs of all journal entries with a matching check number in their comment. Column O contains unique tickers from the journal entries. Selecting a ticker places journal IDs of all journal entries with a matching ticker. Column Q contains unique types from journal entries. Selecting a type places journal IDs of all journal entries with a matching type. Side note, selecting a cell in column I places the tag to the end of the comment in the clipboard. This is similar functionality to selecting from the drop-down list in cell H8 of the View Journal worksheet. To temporarily only place the tag in the clipboard, select S12. To quickly paste the journal IDs and journal entries in the Update Journal worksheet, select J9 on that worksheet, or alternately paste the journal IDs in column J by typing in Ctrl-V. Notice after selecting a journal ID, its row number in the View Journal worksheet is shown in the status bar in the lower left-hand corner. This has been a brief video on the View Journal worksheet. Thanks for watching.